So today I'm going to get to something I've been wanting to do for a while now since I bought my new bike. I want to talk about it and show uh, the benefits and also the problems of owning a Honda NT 1100 DCT. Uh, I've found a lot of great differences, and many I like and a couple I don't care for. But being an older man, one with experience on bigger bikes, powerful bikes, smaller bikes, this one I found to be a really good tour, and I'll explain why. First of all, we need to take a look at the bike that I bought. This is a 2025 Honda NT 1100, and it has all the goodies and everything on it that the bigger or more expensive bikes have. I drove and rode for approximately 15,000 miles a BMW R 1250 RT, and this one, I have to say, compares very much to that bike in many ways. I have done some changes on it. I added the saddlebags, and these are Velcro, so I can take them off at any time. I didn't want the big side boxes because they take up too much room and wouldn't fit in the area that I'm parking the bike. So I put these on. They work good. It takes my chain and my air compressor and tire kit and medication or first aid kit and stuff like that, my water bottles and all, everything fits in there, and if I don't want it, it'll come right off, so that's not a problem. Then I also added this box here. This is the Honda brand, and it is very simple. The Honda, the railing or the handrail is built to receive this, so you don't have to buy any additional gear to put it onto your bike. It is very expensive. It was over $850. The fact that this fits so well with the bike and everything, it is in a way it's worth it to me. The one thing I did not like is with this lock here, it comes completely disassembled, and you have to put the entire lock inside, the pins and all that stuff together, and that was something I found after a day's worth of work, something I was not going to be able to do. I ended up having Honda do it, and it did cost me about $50, but they did it for me. The other thing I added was this addition to the windscreen. It gives me a little more coverage. The coverage on the windscreen is quite good, and you can definitely ride the bike easily without it, but for your long tours and everything, it does give you a little more stability in the helmet. I've added my phone connection for my GPS and my camera mount for my GoPro. The screen is adjustable, but I prefer it to be at the top end. I also added this comfort seat. I didn't buy the Honda comfort seat because I just haven't found it necessary yet. This one here works quite well, and the thing that I really like about it is that especially in the Arizona heat, when you start to perspire, you don't get off your bike looking like you just peed your pants. You are pretty dry, but other than that, this is all the stuff that I actually have put on the bike and made as far as changes. I did also add the battery tender. I believe strongly in the battery tender, and I had them put it in for me, and it goes right here. So it was a nice addition too. It keeps your battery fresh and ready for you to go whenever you're ready. So I've got the camera pointed down more towards the road and the dashboard than I normally do, because I want you to be able to see a little of how this bike runs. So you can shift, you can put the bike into a lot of different driver modes. I like to go in the touring mode because it gives me the most mileage out of my bike. Many people complain, I guess, that you don't feel the amount of big power that the bike has available when you're doing it that way. But in actuality, for me, in tour, this bike has far more power than I actually will ever use, or need anyway. We do have cruise control, and it's very cool. You don't have to put on your brake and reset cruise every time you want to make a change. There's a small little lever or button that you can push that will decrease your speed as you ride, and you can lower it just with your thumb or raise it by your thumb very easily. So it takes all that stuff that I used to do to put on the brake, cut the cruise, reset the cruise at the speed I want to be. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm in tour mode. It gives me all the information I need as far as gas and all the other things. And it's a really good setup. Now, it doesn't have the radar type cruise control that I had on the BMW, so it doesn't slow the bike down or stop it when I have something in front of me. But it works pretty much just like the cruise control in my truck, and that is if I have to slow down or stop, I'll have to initiate that by either reducing my cruise speed or by stepping on the brake and disengaging the cruise control altogether. So I'm on a country road here, and I got some distance. I'm gonna give this thing a little gas. I won't give it as much as it can take because I don't know that I can handle all that. But from 0 to whatever I decide to get up to, you'll see this thing can really get going in drive. So we'll get start. So we get up to 85, 90 miles an hour in seconds. So you don't have to really worry about getting in the way of traffic or not being able to pass, because you can be traveling at freeway speeds like 65 and open it up. And as you can see, I was up to 89 in just a few moments, nothing much. So if your concerns were that you can't get going on this bike in drive, it'll absolutely do it. Now, if I were to put it into manual mode, because I can shift, you can shift this bike manually, paddle shift it. There's no clutch to pull. Yeah, but it will go. It will do fine in drive, if that is any concern you might have. We're on a little back road off from where my house is here in Florence. And I thought I might take, since I'm on my, just out driving, I might as well take a little ride as well. And I'll videotape a little bit of it also. So I just, every time I get out here, I just find this so incredibly amazing. It's all the cactus and things that are growing out here in this desert. I know that those people that are familiar with Arizona probably think, well, that's just the way it is. But for me, it's kind of like when I get into the hills and the mountains around Lake Tahoe, I'm amazed by the forest and I love it. And seeing this is also amazing to me. It's just like they're endless cactus. And I guess these things grow, it takes like close to 100 years for them to get up like around 10 feet or so. And then once they get up around 100 years, they start growing those arms that come out from the side. So if you see those arms sticking out, that cactus is over 100 years old. And they can live quite a while, from what I understand. So if you're growing one and you're hoping to see it grow some arms, you better be awfully young, or you'll be going before the arms ever come. So we're taking a little ride. I'm headed out into the country, and most of this country here that I'm going through is going to be just like it is right now, just like you see it. And I'll be hitting some mountains up here. I don't know what kind of roads or whatever I'll see when I get there, but I'll be up in the mountains pretty soon, and I'll turn you back on. So the range on this bike, gas-wise, is about 250 or maybe a little over 250 miles to a tank. I get about 51 miles to the gallon on the average, and it's stayed that way pretty much all the time. Of course, I haven't done any real long range drives on the bike, so I can't tell you what I would get if I'm driving for hundreds of miles non-stop. But right now, basically with stop and go driving periodically and somewhat highway driving, I can pretty much depend on a 250 mile range. I got something on the road up here. Oh, it's a bird. This is a very comfortable bike for cruising. It puts you in a really good position. You can sit right upright, nice and easy. And you can, if you like, to scoot your backside back a little bit. You can get the triangle effect a little bit, where you're leaning into the handlebars. I guess it depends on what you feel most comfortable with. Being old and with my bones and arthritis, I just enjoy sitting upright and taking in all the beautiful views that I have in front of me. I don't know how that video's turning out. This road is a little rough and the camera is shaking. I can see some mountains up ahead. I'm not sure how far ahead they are, but that's where I'm headed. Oh, we're going down. I have been climbing, and I can see this, that we are coming down now pretty quick. It was a gradual climb, but I knew we were going up. Slow down a little bit. It says 40, and I really think that when you haven't been on a road before, you need to follow the speed limit. There has to be a reason for them to set it the way they do. And if you don't know the road, you could probably find yourself in trouble pretty easily. I've been cruising along here at about 48 miles an hour. Speed limit at tops was 50, so I'm staying under it, mainly just because I enjoy the ride and looking at all this gorgeous stuff. It's a great day. The temperature outside is a little over 60, right between 60 65. Well, let's see, the bike says, it's 69 degrees. So if you go by my bike, it's 69. Traveling at 45, 50 miles an hour, it's pretty cool. Look at that rock formation. Whoa! Oh, look at that. Man, that's what I love about this area, is you're driving along and things pop up that you just aren't ready for. It is something to see, though. I tell you, and I've said this before, but there's nothing like riding these roads on a motorcycle. You're gliding along. This thing's got about 100 or 101 horsepower, pretty strong, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself, where you can go and what you can do. It gives itself to being able to haul heavy stuff, the big back trunk I have, and cases you can always add to this and stuff, and the other places that you can put suitcases and stuff on. You can pack yourself pretty good on this and take some nice long trips. Wow, we have cattle on the road. That's a first. I've never come up to, and I stopped for it, that there were cattle on the road, and they're all throughout these bushes. They're all over the place out here. Yeah, so if you're if you were driving like anything over 50 miles an hour, you could have been making some beef steaks out of those animals. Well, actually, they'd probably make a beef steak out of you, because hitting them is going to be miserable. Yeah, incredible. I hope that truck slows down, because around that corner there's about 8 or 9 cattle that were right on the road, and then they got off. And like I said, I could see them in the bushes and up around the side and stuff, so there had to be close to a dozen of them right in that particular area. Well, we have just run out of paved road, and me being the chicken that I am, I'm going to turn this bike around. Look at those beautiful hills. So this ride is going to end a little sooner than I expected. I had hoped to get up into the hills, up into those mountains, but this is not going to be the route I have to go. Of course, I have gotten up quite high, as you can see out there in the skyline and stuff. I'm not down in the gullies or down in the valley, but yeah, it's a little disappointing. No mountains today, at least not on this particular ride. I'll head back down and over those basic hills that we see in front of us up there. On this ride, I've noticed many areas where the road is covered in dirt and sand, and it looks to me like when it rains, there are like all kinds of these depressions in the road and stuff where it floods. There's one coming right up in front. You can see the dirt there, and during the rain, this area here you wouldn't be able to get through with your car unless you were maybe driving a truck. Or maybe a motorcycle if you wanted to try it. But yeah, there's several of them just like this where the road was covered with dirt. I guess they come by and clear it up afterward, after the rains, because I could see it looks like a grader or something had come along and cleaned them up. But there's an awful lot of them. We're coming back to that area where the cattle are, and I see this truck here. I wonder, it looks to me like maybe they're trying to, he's warning me. Yeah, the sheriff was also out here, and he was flashing his lights, and they're trying to let us know that we got some people, or not people, but cattle on the road, and that we need to be careful. And there we have a cowboy on his horse, and he's rounding up these guys and getting them back. Well, I'll tell you, there's one thing I can tell you that I wouldn't see in Sacramento, and that is cows and cowboys out on the highway. This is terrific. It was worth the ride. Coming up from a different direction on these rocks formations and stuff. It is something to see. Now we're getting close to home and ending this ride. It's been an interesting ride. Cattle and cowboys. Never would have guessed it. So we're home, and you would think that the freeway and the highway with all the cars and everything would be my biggest issue or my biggest safety problem. But actually it's not. It's this gravel road here. Now the heavy packed gravel is not hard to drive on. I could do that fine, but there are areas on this road here where the gravel is 4 feet, or not 4 feet, but 4 inches thick. And there is absolutely no traction whatsoever on this bike in that gravel. And in order for me to get through it, I have to put both my feet down and walk my way through it. And that actually is in this area right here where you really need it. It's the heaviest. The gravel is very thick, and this bike will not ride through it on its own. You have to have your feet down to get through it. Other than that, it's okay. And we're home.